It's morning here in South Africa. I suppose you're watching from all over the world, so it could be anything. Anyway, hello, welcome to the show, episode 21. That's amazing. We've done 21 episodes of the show. And if you are streaming us live on the channel right now, hey, drop us a message in the chat. I will do a shout out to you throughout the show. So coming up, what are we going to be doing today? Well, we got some fun news lined up as always, a bit of tribe news and things that are happening. And we've got our weekly interviews, starting our first one for this year, chatting to the amazing Meg&Creative from Meg&Creative. We're going to learn a little bit about some copywriting, some technicalities around that. And then also an amazing opportunity to network with a huge group of people at the end of the month for a global online speed networking that is teaming up with, it's like two business networks coming together with one. We are one together. And there's going to be a whole lot of people from around the world. So it's an amazing opportunity. And so far, just so that you can get ahead of things, the details are down below in the description. But we're going to be getting to more of that news. In fact, chatting about the event, I like to mention it quite often because it's quite important and I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity as my earphone falls out. But it's the Global Online Speed Networking happening on the 29th of March, 7 to 9 p.m. GMT+2. I'm so used to the usual time, which starts at 6, but it's now moved an hour later so we can get our international people there because there's this thing called time zones. And oh my word, we don't generally have to deal with time zones and like they change their time at different times of the year. It's like for October to this time, it's this time, but then because it's now March, it's not changing up by an hour or 2 hours. Like who changes their time? I'm not used to this, man. My brain can't handle it. But anyway, back to the point. 29th of March, Global Online Speed Networking. It's a mixer with a brand connection from Canada. We're going to be having a huge group of people from around the world, an awesome opportunity to grow your net worth through your network. And you're going to make some great connections with dynamic entrepreneurs from around the world. The details to register are down below. So go and register now, like as in super right now. I'm also just checking on the back end that our live stream is actually working because I'm not currently recording. So if this isn't going out live, we might have to restart, but let's see how it goes. There we go. It is working. Fantastic. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay. Then you see on the wall here, we got some space. In fact, this whole background could change because looking for a sponsor for the show. Yes, if you are targeting entrepreneurs from around the world who you want to connect with and see that you're supporting entrepreneurs and small businesses around the world, then you could sponsor the show. And it's kind of like cheap, I'm just saying, especially with the current exchange rate for South Africa. So it's an opportunity. Contact me. My details are down below if you'd like to be a sponsor. And yeah, I'm trying something new for the very first time. I'm adding cards to the videos after we've done the live stream. So let's try this. It's going to pop up somewhere, okay? But it's also down in the corner there. Subscribe. So subscribe to the Explore Protech YouTube channel. We're pushing to 1,000 subscribers. And as always, the promise still stands. Once we get to 1,000, I will be doing the show live while being waxed at the same time. So we'll see if I can still produce a show and get waxed at the same time and test my mettle as a person going through that. So that could be a fun adventure, but go and subscribe. Also, you'll be learning out. We posting constantly amazing content for you, just for you. We put it out there for free that you can learn about business tips and life coaching and all these kinds of things. So it's on the channel and you're gonna miss out if you don't subscribe. So go and subscribe right now. The links are there somewhere. Okay, cool. Let's have some fun. Okay, so you can't do a chat at the moment without mentioning a certain like military action thing happening in the, Eastern Europe area, you know, the one I'm talking about. And it's funny because I sit with the moral dilemma. I always want to do fun news and the good news because we hear about that news. But yet the other day I was listening to the news and people were talking about other stuff that was completely irrelevant, like banning bicycles on a park because people are scared they're going to get bumped by a bicycle. How nice is your life that your biggest worry is being bumped by a bicycle when we've got all these things on? So it would be hypocritical of me not to mention something and only just do good news. So the point I want to make is if you look at all the news and this part of this news is to have a bit of fun, but also look at the next biggest trends. Many years ago, you didn't have companies joining a conflict. Your biggest corporations around the world joining a conflict. And that's what we're seeing now. You've got Facebook who's doing limited to banning basically Russia. And Russia's come back and said, oh, well, we don't need this Facebook thing. And then they've gone back and said, well, it just shows that a social media community that's open and honest is bad for dictators. Ooh, shots fired there. But that's what they've said. Instagram's been limited. Snapchat's joined. PlayStation's removing themselves. All the big corporations, McDonald's, you name it, they're all pulling out of Russia to do these sanctions. So it's just the trend that I'm noticing and putting out there where really big companies and corporations not only have a bit of power and influence in the world and economics, global economics because of their business that they do, but they're also getting involved on a political stance and level as well. And that's something we're seeing. That's how business is changing. It's not just politics anymore. I suppose the saying goes where the money is and that there's power, but I don't think we've ever seen this before where big corporations are taking a big stand and having some form of influence. Like we mentioned on the last show with Elon Musk's Starlink, they said they need the internet. He said, well, I've got satellites in the sky that give internet to you. So I'm going to give you the modems or whatever it is, the satellites that they use for it, and give you subscriptions so you can have the internet so that you can fight your conflict and still communicate and all of those kind of things. So anyway, big trend. Corporations around the world having an influence on a conflict around the world, which I don't know, on the other side, I actually feel that's quite a good thing because it's not then just up to the politicians who we love so much and trust, and it's just so amazing to look after our needs. You know, we really love them, but actually the influence is spread a little bit. And when you've got more, less centralized locus of power, it should mean good things for the masses. So let's see how it pans out and if it actually makes a difference. Who knows? Maybe Russians will go, well, we don't need PlayStation. We don't need Starbucks. We don't need McDonald's. We don't need all of these things. Who knows? Could see another change. Let's see how it pans out. Okay, onto some fun news. And I love these ones, the big trends, big trends. We spoke about the metaverse on the previous episode. I'll try to pop it in here as a card and get all fancy. But the next one, the one that we haven't mentioned, is called an NFT. We heard about an NFT. You've got to learn about it, boys and girls, because this is a big one. It's right up there with cryptocurrency. In fact, it's come sort of born out of cryptocurrency. So what is an NFT? Well, it stands for, I'm going to find my notes here because I can never freaking remember. Reading fast. Non-fungible transaction, I think it is. But long story short, it's based on blockchain things. So you can buy, there we go. So it's a digital artwork stored on a blockchain as proof of ownership and authenticity. And it's set record prices in 2021 on the wake of the cryptocurrency boom. So long story short, you could buy a digital artwork piece and through the blockchain, maintain the original ownership and authenticity of that one. And it's pretty cool. There's one from South Africa coming out very shortly. Nelson Mandela, everybody in the world knows who Nelson Mandela is. And he did some artworks during his time at Robben Island. And they're going to be sold in the coming week as an NFT with the main price set for 54,000 Rand. So he produced a series of 5 artworks that was depicting his time incarcerated on Robben Island. And yeah, they're handwritten, well, they're artworks and handwritten motivations, and they're going to be minted and sold as these non-fungible tokens. That's what it stands for, NFT, non-fungible tokens. Say it again, fungible. But yeah, so they're going to be sold as those, where the prices, I think a single image will sell for $699 US, which is roughly 10,744 Rand. And the full set will sell for $3,495 US, so 53,000 Rand roughly, give or take. But that's really cool. You see, NFTs, boys and girls, maybe I should do a whole show around it and teach people about it. It's the next big thing. It's like the next evolution in art specifically. So your big artists around the world are getting on board and selling original artwork pieces as digital artwork pieces that people buy that through blockchain, they own it and authenticated for it. So I wonder what the next level of art thief would then be. You'd have to be like highly skilled to hack blockchain stuff. Wow. Anyway, that's not a new career opportunity, boys and girls. The new career opportunity is learning about these NFTs and how to use them and incorporate them. And who knows, maybe Big Brand soon will be coming out with their own NFTs and selling them and things like that, and influencing the world like that. And in fact, it is a huge industry. Last year, guess how much NFTs generated in last year alone? And it wasn't the best economic year. 25 billion US dollars. 25 billion US dollars, and it's growing. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world at the moment. It might even overtake your cryptocurrency soon. So go check it out. Non-fungible tokens. And then last one, this is very cool, exciting. You know, like on the one side, you get excited because it's new science, but on the other side, like there's still nature and we're still people and we're going to do things properly. But how about this? And boys and girls, put on your smart caps because this is even going to drive me. We're talking about molecular machines made of atoms. Okay, so we're talking about machines that are so small, the size of atoms. Atoms, atomic level. Like it's tiny. Like how did they do this? It's amazing. So after many years of research, it seems that molecular machines made of atoms are going to be changing our future. They're known as nanites or nano machines, and we've seen them in scientific movies where they make a nano machine and it goes into people and fixes them or explores them or whatever. They're kind of pretty much getting to the point that they're a real thing. And they're made up of molecular components that produce quasi-mechanical movements, which is their output, in response to specific stimuli, which is their input. So it does define a machine. You've got a specific input that creates a sort of pre-designed output based on that stimuli. So they're machines. They're making these machines. Was going to give some examples, but they were far too complicated for me to understand. But they're getting to the point where they're getting atoms to work together and remotely control them, okay? Which means like you do it on a laptop and down at a molecular atomic level, it's doing what the instructions are that you give it. Like, it's kind of mind-blowingly cool. And there's huge applications for that. I mean, there's healthcare. They're going to be making machines, like the next generation of computers, as we know them, are going to change. They're going to run on a biological, molecular level. There are those biomachines out there already. And they're doing huge research between genetics and atoms and how to incorporate them with this nanotechnology to create these super fast machines that work so quickly. Because think about it, our brains work, like it or not. I mean, you can't do thousands of complex calculations, but they still operate at a level that no computer can do. And now they're going to be able to get closer to that by incorporating nature and the biology of atomic level stuff to make these machines. Like, how cool would that be? Imagine you had an atomic size house cleaning device. So you can't even see it, but just automatically your house gets like cleaned and stuff. Really would be nice, especially for the dishes. I hate washing dishes. I think the ironing could be a bit difficult on that one, but I'm sure they'll work out something. They're that smart. Yeah, I've got a mental image of a tiny atom trying to iron my shirts. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so that's it for the fun news. Just some quick other things to share. And I'm going to try to pop up the cards as well on this one. But we had an awesome coffee shop show on Monday with Scott Dunhill. It was all about LinkedIn lead generation. So if you're looking to generate some leads, and one of the best places to do that is LinkedIn, and you want to learn how, well, Scott and the panelists show you how to do that and share some amazing advice. So go check out that one. We also have Creating Success or Business Success One Step at a Time with Christine Campbell-Rappin. I mean, she's just a powerhouse out of Canada. This lady, just when she talks, you got to listen. It's a nice, quick, short video all about the number one thing that you are not doing consistently, which is hurting your business success. So out of the coffee shop show, one of the things that we said is diligently doing things consistently. And here Christine's come out and said, well, here is the things that you're not doing consistently that's hurting your business. Worth a check out. Card will pop out. If not, the link is down below for that video. as well as Natalie Clack's Natural Self-Help Tools for the Busy Entrepreneur. And she interviews Cliff Big Cat Starts. It's a really cool interview, and she just talks to great entrepreneurs and business people from around the world again, and they share some amazing self-help tools, things that they've learned and that they implement every day that can help you at the end of the day. So that's pretty cool. Cards up here somewhere, or the link again is down below. I like printing on the screen. Events, big one coming up. 29th of March, the Global Online Speed Networking, or we're going to be chatting to Megan about in a short little bit. And then on the 24th of March, if you're a virtual assistant and you're feeling all by yourself, because you work by yourself and you work remotely and you've got to deal with your clients online, but it'd be nice to have a community of people that you can connect with and either vent or say, you've got a client who comes to you for a specific type of work that you can't do it and you want to learn how, or outsource to somebody else that you can trust. Well, there's a network of virtual assistants from around the world called Explore VAN, which stands for Explore Virtual Assistant Network. 24th of March is their next opportunity to get together and connect and network with each other. You can find out more how to become a member, how to get involved, details of how to register below. Go and register. And if you know of a virtual assistant, help them out. Tell them about it. Get them to join. Because I tell you what, it's hard enough doing business by yourself. How cool is it that you can join a network of people in the same industry and you all work together to help the industry and grow each other's businesses? I mean, like, wow. Okay, and then there's a shop. There's an Explore Protech shop where you can buy things, everything from like a branded mug to the amazing jewelry that Somerville has produced, to things like blog posts and marketing and video and creative writings and all this awesome stuff. And it would take a whole show to go through it all. But there's a link down below to the shop. Go check it out. Go see if there's something you specifically need. You can just pick and choose, purchase, book, do it. Bada bing, bada bang. Nice and simple, easy for you. You can get what you need right there on the website. And with that, it is now time, before I run out of breath, to introduce the amazing, we call her Bambi, but she's bigger and stronger than that. No offense to Bambi, our own Megan Diaz from Meg&Creative.
Hi, Chris. Morning. How are you?
Well, as you can see, I'm on top form this morning, talking at 20 million miles per hour.
I see it. I don't think there's anything new about that, though.
Yes. Hey, do you know what? We've got some people watching us live.
Oh,
I just want to do a shout out. So Lucia saying,
I'm trying to find my hand on the screen. There we go. Hello, everybody.
There we go. Your virtual background is protesting. Okay, so we've got Lucia saying GSN's going to be great. Janine agreeing with her. Natalie from Just Be Coaching saying, great idea. Tell us more about NFTs, please. So I guess I'll have to do, I'll have to do a show around NFTs. And then Janine saying, if you can't wash the dishes, don't eat. Haha. Yeah, struggling solopreneur. That happens. And Janine says, hi, Megan, and Explore Van. It's the 6th event, that one happening on the 24th of March. And I'm also going to be the MC, so it'll be lots of fun. See you there, register. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you, Megan. So Megan, what is Meg&Creative?
Okay, thanks, Chris. Let me just say hello to Janine and to Max, everybody giving shout outs there. Hope all's going well in your guys' world, and thanks for the shout outs. I'm Megan. I'm based in Cape Town, and I'm a freelance copywriter, content creator, and creative works consultant. And I think what's important to know about me and what makes me most special, I think, the fact that I take on technical and creative projects. So I'm really splitting the left and right brain throughout my workday and just getting my crazy on throughout my workspace. I think that's the best way to describe me.
So here's a cool example. We just did that. I just did that whole complex thing about the molecular nano computer atom level things. You on the technical side, say now somebody wanted to have that article written in a more understandable, fun, creative way. That's where your groove comes in.
Absolutely, Chris. I've got quite a diverse technical background, and that includes life sciences, some very industrial applications, but I think in terms of nanotechnology and all technology at this point in time, it's really interesting to just stay on top of things and just pop into some of those blogs and reviews that are going out at the moment because there's so much happening. And that's, like you say, where I get my groove on, because I bring that excitement about the technology and what's new and the innovations going on in that space. I bring it to the place where people like yourself that finds it complicated on a normal day can understand it. So that's what I do. I sip in the information, mix it up, spit it out on the other end, and it's simplified, it's energized, it's interesting, and you get to understand what I get excited about.
I like that, because, like, I mean, just putting it out there as a simple example. Imagine an engineering company that wants to do some engaging blog posts about the latest technological advances in pillar concrete formations and hardening over 50 years with the latest. Huh? What? But obviously, then, even if it is a company like that with something, or even accountants, I guess, because their stuff can also be newsworthy. No offense, accountants, we love you. But at the end of the day, if they're sitting with that challenge, they can come to you and you can help them take something that could be potentially really complicated, really boring, and, like you say, simplify, energize, clarify, and put it out there in a way that people can connect with, understand, and actually finish reading without doing the.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Chris, what people always think is that it's boring and complex and, just all of these things that we don't want to be involved with. But when you speak to these clients in the technical space and the technicians and everybody that's on the coalface of the technology happening, they are such passionate, interesting, really creative thinkers in their own space. I think the disconnect comes in where they try and pass that knowledge on to the next person who's not as involved in the project. So the people like yourself, perhaps in a marketing space versus a nanotechnology space. And I see myself as the bridge between them and you, so that I just sip it in and pop it out on the other end so that you can actually understand the passion and the drive and the innovation that goes on in their space on a daily basis.
But I mean, I'm just applications thinking, but I mean, even on complex business practices or systems, or like the latest things, the NFT, like, okay, there's people who want to know what a freaking NFT is and how it works and how to get involved in all of that, which could get really complicated. But again, putting it in a simplified format and creative way that people can identify with it without losing the message.
Absolutely. That's exactly how I operate and why I'm here, so that the words like fungible become something not to be afraid of, but something that you become interested in, and therefore can go on and make some extra bucks on the side from NFTs.
It's such a fun word to say, fungible, and pun was intended, but fungible. Also, I mean, Megan copies copy and content is content. I mean, there's a wide array from social media posts to blog posts to website content to long-winded articles to proofreading to editing, or you name it. Where do you find your fit? What kind of copy and content is really the space that you like to play?
Chris, for me, on the technical side, I lean a lot more towards case studies. And let me just add in there that case studies are the best thing you can add to your marketing in order to get attention drawn to your business by someone who never knew your business before, became a client, and got the best out of your business, the best solution you could offer them. You put it on a plate and you served it hot. And you've turned that client into a fan. And that's what a case study is about. It's just pulling somebody into your space, offering them the solution that they actually need, and getting them to give you that feedback that makes you and your business stand out amongst the rest. So case studies are definitely an area for me in the technical space. And I do blogging in technical and creative as well. And then I'm a big fan of music and broadcasting industry. So that is a space that I'd like to climb into a bit more. I've got some background in that. And so I'd like to climb into that more, but I essentially am, I'm a generalist in a sense, but I'm also niched because I've got this technical background that helps me simplify just about any topic. And so in that way, I'm quite niche down.
Well, I mean, here's that. Okay, so case studies like testimonials on steroids. And a testimonial is as close as you can get to word of mouth of people. So word of mouth, we know, is the most powerful marketing channel. So then, okay, so let's follow the train forward. Most powerful one, word of mouth, which is a testimonial, which actually is a case study, just a testimonial on steroids. It's even bigger, it's even better. And how's this for a testimonial? Janine, who is logged in right now, said she's used Megan for some projects and she's really wonderful to work with. She's true wit and she truly gives great advice to ensure the work ends up giving that wow factor. Bambi rocks. Agreed, case studies helps indeed. So there you go. People live on the show giving a testimonial. That's how we do.
Absolutely. That's how we do it. We climb into our clients' projects and we make sure that we love those projects. We are those projects until the client's satisfied. So thanks very much for that.
So reach out to Megan. All of her contact details are currently down below in the description. Reach out and see how she can help you take a really technical, complicated, hard copy that you need or content that you need out there, and she'll take it, simplify it, clarify it, energize it, and put it out there for you. And you see, there's a testimonial. It's in the live chat. I think it's on that side. Live chat right now. You can see it right there. Okay. And Megan, another area we tapped into briefly, your love of music. We could do a whole show just around that. Your love of broadcasting. But there's another love that you have. It's all about networking. And we're super excited about this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Networking, yes, I'm becoming a serial networker as I sit here. And for me, it's just a matter of getting into the space where I am being social, getting to know people, building relationships all the way. And despite what people think, there's nothing salesy about it. It's not about making a contact to sell something or sell a service or get a new client on board. It's basically about building a relationship and just getting to know other people, whether it's local business people in the space that I operate in or globally. So I do at least 5 to 10 different networking sessions a week, whether it's one-on-one. And I also do group networking a few times a week. So I dabble from the States to the UK, into Europe, and lots of local groups as well. And I must tell you, it's the best thing I could have done for my business. Because suddenly I've gone from having one client locally that kept me going for a while, and I've now got global clients on board and meeting more potential clients every day. But added to that, I'm making so many friends.
Well, exactly. And I mean, that's what we do. That's something completely different. We don't do the hard sales. We build relationships with people, which leads to more sustainable business down the road. It's not like you're meeting people and you might sell, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're talking on a much larger scale. I know Megan really, really well. And then when I get to that point and that opportunity, all my projects that Megan can help with, Megan's my chosen person because we built a relationship already. We've done that part. So when it comes down to, okay, we need to do some business now, I know I can trust Megan to get it done. That's not a question. It's just put it together, get the deal going, and move forward. And that's what we do differently. We're creating such a cool opportunity for people to network.
Absolutely, Chris. I just want to add to that, but I think the bottom line is getting to know people, but for them to be able to like, know, and trust you as a person, not only as a business and what you offer in terms of your service or product. And I think it's a key part of it because the trust issue disappears. And as you said, it's a matter of knowing instinctively down the line when a copywriting project comes about that you can call me and you'd be happy to refer me because you've been speaking to me on a regular basis and learning more about my process and what I do and how I do it. So I think for any business person, entrepreneur, or person that just needs a level of support in terms of how they get their business out there, networking is definitely one of the best solutions you can find, if not the best.
And it leads to referrals and all of those things, and that word of mouth that we talked about. So it's a powerful marketing channel. I'm probably one of them right up there. I'd actually rather do networking first before I do paid advertising. Hashtag just saying. The 29th of March is our global online speed networking, and this time it's going to be bigger and better than ever because we're mixing things up.
Yes, yes. And Chris, 29th of March, we're looking forward to it. It's a Tuesday. The event for South Africa is GMT +2, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we are mixing it up with a Canadian-based networking organization from Canada. So we trying to find the balance between global and local time, because as Chris mentioned earlier, we don't do the daylight saving time thing. We don't switch clocks back and forth. And so for us, it's a matter of pinning a time and a date, and then just going back to double check whether or not we are accommodating our peers, because they are our peers in what we do on a global scale. And so we are going to be joining up with the Grand Connection networking organization from Canada on the 29th. And we are welcoming them into our GOSN space, and GOSN being our global online speed networking that we do once a month at Explore Protech. And it's an online event, so there's no need to get dressed up all fancy, no need to go into your car, drive anywhere, just pop online. You get the link from us if you register on the website, and meet 30 to 40 people within the space of 2 hours, 20 to 40 people that you can actually say, I can have a coffee with this one, I've connected with this one. And the coffee aspect of it is really important. So meeting someone on the night, or during the day, whichever time zone you're in, just means that you've got that initial connection. It's not a cold connection anymore. And so you follow it up, drop them a quick LinkedIn or email message and say, could we have a one-on-one chat? Because you and I could be chatting about a partnership, a collaboration, or even just a support structure for our businesses down the line. And so follow that up, and eventually you get into a space with people where you get stuck in your own business on whichever level. You've got a network of people you can put your question, your query, your concern out to. And ultimately you get a group of 10 or 15 people coming back and going, I can help with that. I can give you that. I can support you in this way. And so what's fantastic about the 29th is it's one of the first times that we are doing a mixer event with another large organization similar to ours based here in Cape Town. And it's our members, their members, and shared guests that we are bringing into a common space. So it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and that obviously means it's going to be more fun.
Well, exactly. And we've designed it in such a way that, when there's 200 or 100 people attending, it's tricky in 2 hours to chat to so many of those people. We've designed it in such a way that you can chat and connect with as many people as possible within that time space, because we know your time is precious. And 2 hours on Zoom is a long time, but it's worth it, because in that time, the opportunity is created very much to connect with as many people as possible. And I'm going to share a couple secret things, okay? And then I'm going to ask you a question. So a couple of secret things. The theme is pay it forward, because that is International Pay It Forward Day. So there are going to be some nice surprises where people are going to be paying it forward to each other and giving things to help each other. You hear the hint of what I'm sharing. And again, for the event, we're not doing the event to market ourselves. So our networks, so we're not going to talk about Explore Protech. We're not going to talk about Grand Connection. What we're going to talk about is how to network and how to come together and how to help each other and create those connections. Because we're there with the intent of helping businesses around the world connect, grow, and improve their net worth through their network and those connections and relationships. I've formed some amazing relationships with people that I haven't had the opportunity to do business with. When I get there, I definitely will use them. but they're still good friends. They're still good people. They're people that I can message and say, I'm not doing okay today. And they will be there and they will support and help in any way that they can. And I think these days, with the rather challenging, grim look that the world has at the moment, really nice to have a group of friends and people that you can genuinely trust in your corner to connect with.
I fully agree, Chris. And I think what we also need to stress, like you mentioned earlier, is the fact that the event is set up for you to be able to meet as many people in that 2-hour space as possible. But it doesn't mean that you're just going to be chucked into a room and left to your own devices or sitting in a corner somewhere. Everybody gets involved. All that my team and myself do in order to get this event organized well is to make sure that every single person that comes into that space is immersed in that feeling of welcome, join us, share with us, connect with us, and let's do this. So I really do encourage people to start registering for the event. It is something that we look forward to sharing with you, because that's how I started with Explore Protech and in networking itself. And that's how Chris got into it, and so many of our other tribe members. We literally got invited as a guest to this networking event one evening. And I got there a year and a bit ago, and I never left. Simple as that. Because everything I was looking for as a new business owner is there. And that's the magic of it. You have to experience the event, but that is just a prelude to what else can follow.
Megan, you're the big boss who is part of in charge of the team that puts this event together, and you're the one who makes the decisions. I'm thinking, how about we pay it forward? What if we gave away 5 free tickets to the event from the show?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
5 more people. 5 more people. We can say, welcome into our space, and how can we help you? How can we support you too? So let's do that.
Fantastic. So right now, I'm going to put a link down right at the bottom of the description with the link to go to, as well as the coupon code that will be valid for the next 5 people to use to register for the event. And you can get a free ticket. There you go. And we'll see you at the event, 29th of March, 7 p.m. GMT +2. If you don't know how to do that, Google it. So if you're, MST, Mountain Standard Time, and you need to know what GMT is +2, just say time converter, and then you put it in and it works all out for you, even with the time changes at the moment.
I can just add to that, Chris. So it's 7 to 9 p.m. SA time. You've got 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, and 7 to 9 p.m. SA time. So that's the larger time zones that are involved with this mixer. And also, in respect of those tickets, if you are watching, joining us right now, and you are not a business person, entrepreneur, or you don't feel that networking space is for you, grab it anyway and pass it on to someone that you can see in that space, and just pay it forward. There's your start.
Pay it forward. Okay, Megan, it's been awesome. You and I can chat online for hours at a time, but that's all we got for the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Make contact with Megan. Her links are down below, and let her get a handle on your copy, and she'll be nice and creative. Meg&Creative with it. See what I did. But the links down below. The links for the 5 free tickets are down below. First 5 people get it. It's yours. And if you miss one of those free tickets, hey, the link is there, both for Global Online Speed Networking as well as the Explore Virtual Assistant Network. That is all down below. And that's all we have for this week. Have a wonderful week. Thank you again, Megan.
Thanks very much, Chris. Great joining you again.
And see you again live next week.